If you're still getting frizz, flat roots, or wonky curls after diffusing, then you're probably making one of these common mistakes. Today, I'm doing a side-by-side split test to show you exactly what might be going wrong when you're diffusing and how to fix it. Can you spot the difference? My name is Gina, and here we talk all things naturally curly. I love simplifying things and helping you problem solve to get the most consistent results. And I'm also a curl coach who loves watching my clients style and diffuse and helping them make those small tweaks to their diffusing routine to get the exact results that they want. This video was actually inspired by the most common mistakes that I have picked up on when watching my clients diffuse through my curl coaching membership. So let's get started. I briefly wanted to just share with you what I did before I diffused and what I styled with. I'm taking my clean hair down out of my hair repair towel and then just misting it with some water. So I'm going to be testing out a new gel today, but first I have to apply up my heat protectant. I do like using a heat protectant when I diffuse, which is every time I wash my hair. And that is because I want to protect my hair from the heat in the diffuser. This heat protectant from Curlsmith also has UV protectant in it as well, and it's summertime. So I'm just applying that all over and then brushing it through, then running my hands through my hair and sectioning my hair off so that way I can apply my gel. I won't spend too much time on the styling, but I did want to show you this Biolage Jelly Styler that I'm testing out for the first time. I've been wanting to try some new gels, specifically ones that have ingredients for humidity that I've been looking for. Also, I did not like the smell of this gel. It was very strong. I'm usually not sensitive to scents, but this one was just not for me in terms of the scent. But the gel felt very nice. It was very moisturizing feeling. I'm using it by itself with no leave-in, no curl cream or anything. I always like to do that when I'm testing a gel for the first time. It had a lot of slip to it, so it was easy to brush style with it in. I did my usual brush styling routine where I just gently run the brush through each section to help give my hair some tension so it'll bounce up, some praying hands, and then I also style the top crown area up and back for some volume. Did a little bit of brush styling and finger coiling around my top section that tends to get pretty frizzy. Then I am done styling. Our first mistake is diffusing your hair while it is still soaking wet, and instead try the microplopping technique to remove excess water before you diffuse. So if you start to diffuse on your hair while it's soaking wet, it can just slow everything down and really weigh down your curls because water is very heavy. All of that extra water pulls down your curl and wave pattern, and it also will lead to less bounce and more of an elongated look. So I generally recommend styling more on the damp side. My hair's not stringy by any means, it's just evenly wet, but if you do get better results when you style soaking wet, then try the microplopping technique. This is a very important step that I always take before I diffuse. So before I reach for my diffuser, I just take a minute to gently scrunch my hair with a microfiber towel or a cotton t-shirt. This one is from Hair Repair Towel. I can link it for you down below, but this will help remove the excess water without disrupting your curls too much. And don't worry, if you feel like you lost some product in the process, you can always smooth another light layer of your styler back over the surface of your hair. So I always do this, especially when I'm using a gel that doesn't have much hold. I will go in with more gel. This layering technique makes a big difference in the amount of hold that I get. I know it might sound weird, like why take away the product and then add it back, but just trust the process. It's going to give you extra hold and also help to tame any frizz that formed with microplopping. So if you still want to style soaking wet, then just make sure that you incorporate this step, and I do this right before I diffuse. The next mistake is air drying for too long before you diffuse. If your goal is curl enhancement and curl shrinkage, instead diffuse right when you're done styling. So go straight from microplopping to diffusing. If you wait too long before you diffuse, your waves and curls are going to start to set in whatever state they're in. And when you're air drying, it's going to be more elongated. You might get more frizz from friction. Then if you go and try and fix it later while it's still half damp, it's just going to create a mess. Now, if you do want a more elongated look, air drying first is totally fine. If your goal is more of that curl definition and bounce and shrinkage, then it's best to start diffusing right away. I personally like to start with scrunch diffusing first to get maximum curl formation. Like, you'll want to set your curls in the scrunch state right away if you really want them to spring up and look a little tighter. But if that tends to cause frizz for you, you could try hover diffusing first, then scrunch diffuse, but that probably is going to result in a little bit more elongation. So I usually just go straight to scrunch diffusing. You can try both and see what works for you, but I definitely don't recommend air drying first. It's just adding time to your wash day for no reason. Mistake number 3 is not placing the hair in the diffuser bowl properly or gathering too much at once. Instead, pay close attention to ensure the hair sits neatly in the bowl. You can see how much frizz is already forming when I'm not paying close attention to how it is placed. Also, I tend to see a lot of people just gather too much hair or the hair will be spilling over the side. I was just trying to demonstrate that to you there, where a lot of times the hair is not all the way captured and you end up with pieces that are sticking out on the side. That will usually dry wonky. And look how the curls take like this U shape. You'll end up with a bend right at your ear because it's not properly placed. So instead, you want the hair to gently get placed from the ends up to the root. This takes a little bit of practice, and you'll definitely have to look closely in the mirror and go slowly. You don't want to move too quickly, but pay attention to how the hair is getting placed in the diffuser bowl and don't gather too much at once. You don't want the hair to be spilling out the sides or getting flattened. If you do see where the hair is not properly placed, lower the diffuser down and then replace your hair slowly. I do this a lot of times. I don't always get it perfect every time, but you'll see me take it down and then replace it again until I get it just right. This is also why I don't dry an entire section all the way at once, because then I might end up with wonky curls if it wasn't placed properly. So I just dry it a little bit at a time in each section and keep moving around my head slowly. You can also turn off your hair dryer as you place your hair in it, then turn it back on. This is called the pixie diffusing technique, and that often helps people with wavy and loose curls, and anyone with long hair just get their hair placed properly with the air off, then turn it on. If you have very long or thick hair, it's important to diffuse in sections too. This helps avoid overloading the diffuser and gives you more even defined results. So again, just don't have your hair spilling all out the side of it. Gather it in a section first, then place it in the diffuser. Essentially, you want the hair that's not in the diffuser to just be laying down evenly and not be captured in any way. You want it to be separated out. That way the hair next to it isn't getting dried in a wonky position. This part is a little bit hard to explain, but if you watch the way that I move the dryer as I'm going from the ends to the root, it really makes a difference in how the hair gets scrunched, and it avoids any bent or misshaped curls. So I'm carefully gathering it from the ends, raising it up towards my head, and then in one motion I'm starting to go towards my head with the prongs of the diffuser towards my scalp at this point. So now it's pointed directly at my head, then lifting straight up, so that way it's lifting my roots. I'm not placing it on the ends and then bending it up in a large motion up to the top of my head. That creates that bend at the ear. So instead it's more of a fluid motion of going from pointing it up to pointing it to my head. Here's another common mistake that I see all the time, and it's usually the reason my clients feel disappointed with their volume or they end up with frizz. Diffusing while standing upright really prevents you from getting much volume, especially on top, and pointing your dryer straight up can also lead to frizz because it's blowing up the cuticle. Instead, try tilting your hair forward to the side or even upside down as you diffuse. Essentially, you just want your hair to be away from your scalp. That way you can evenly gather it. So sometimes I do this upside down, especially for the front. This helps lift your roots away from your scalp and encourages volume right at the root and at the crown area. So I'm just gathering the hair in the diffuser and pressing it up towards my scalp. Leaning over really allows you to see the hair as well. That's why you see me lean pretty far over, because I'm able to actually see my hair from the ends up to the root. And this really helps to create that shape as well. So you can see the shape that I have in my curls without even having a ton of layering in my hair. That's really created from diffusing, whereas the other side has a wonky shape to it. Also, make sure you're using the prongs of your diffuser to gently lift the roots while you're drying. This gives your curls even more height and shape. If you're seeing any wonky curls in your layering, try targeting that layer directly. So place the diffuser right in the mid shaft area at the layer and then press it up. And again, if you're not capturing all the hair in the diffuser, make sure that hair next to it is straight down and not getting captured in a weird way or getting snagged in the dryer. Remember that your hair will set in whichever position it's in while drying. This is lifting the roots off the scalp as it sets and dries them, which is key for volume. I usually do this along my part and at my crown towards the end of diffusing. Our next mistake is holding the diffuser too long or not long enough per section. Moving the diffuser around constantly actually prevents your curls from setting properly. You're not giving them enough time for the styler to set and the waves and curls to form their shape, so you end up with frizz and little to no definition. On the flip side, holding your diffuser in one spot for too long can cause heat damage and just uneven drying, especially if you're using medium to high heat. Plus, if your hair is not placed properly in the diffuser, it's going to set in that way, and that's going to end up with a wonky shaped curl. So instead, you want to find that sweet spot of holding the diffuser in place for about 20 to 30 seconds per section, enough time to start to set the curl, but not so long that you're over drying or damaging your hair. Keep in mind that you don't need to fully dry an entire section before moving on to the next section. It's okay if your hair doesn't fit in the diffuser all at once either. Just make sure the hair beside it is separated out like I've been mentioning and also not bent. I like to rotate between sections slowly, gathering sections at a time and working my way around my head. Each section will not be dried to 100%, but I will come back to each of them. So I sort of make this circle around my head as I keep moving around and feeling which spots are still damp. If you're really short on time, you could diffuse for just a few minutes and then leave the rest damp, but just know that this can lead to frizz, lack of volume, and flat roots if your hair finishes air drying. If you can't tell if your hair is dried yet, always turn it off, let your hair cool, then feel it to see where areas are still damp and try to finish diffusing those if you can. Before we talk about my diffusing results, I first want to show you my result after using this BioLodge gel. So I needed to go in with a little bit of extra because I was seeing a lot of frizz. I didn't really get much hold or a cast out of this gel, unfortunately. Whenever that happens, I will usually add extra gel onto dry hair. This little tip really will help give you extra hold, especially in areas that ended up frizzy after using a gel that didn't have strong enough hold. So really bummed about that. I like stronger hold gels. This just didn't have enough. But then I just went around and fluffed out my roots for some volume with dry hands. My hair didn't really get wet or anything after adding the gel. I just did it to tame some frizz. But let's get into the diffusing results because look at the difference in my hair. The biggest difference between the two sides is the shape. Look how much better the shape looks on the side where I diffused properly versus the side where I didn't, and the amount of frizz. Now this shape is just my preference, by the way. Some of you might prefer a flatter look, but for me, I like more of a rounded shape to my hair. I have a ton of frizz on the incorrect side, and that was from not correctly placing the diffuser. I also have a lot of wonky curls, which I don't expect any of my curls to look perfect and ringlety. That's not going to happen, but I had a lot more wonky curls than I usually do with the incorrect side. Look how much webbed frizz that I have, a lot of misshaped curls, and a lot of curls that just didn't get curled up to their full potential. As I mentioned, there's nothing wrong with wonky shaped curls, but I know that my curls are naturally a lot curlier, and this didn't bring out my curls' full potential with the incorrect diffusing techniques. It is now day 2, and I wanted to show you how my hair looks. This is why I always do these updates, is because my hair definitely did not hold up. This gel just was not it for me. It just is a medium hold gel, maybe even light hold gel. Not enough to hold up in humidity, even though it does have humidity blocking ingredients. That doesn't always indicate it's going to last. Sometimes there's just not enough of them, or there's too much of those conditioning ingredients that are softening it. That's probably what the case is here. But I have a lot of frizz going on. I even have some like undefined pieces like right through here. Definitely in the back. It's just very fuzzy, especially on my ends and my high porosity areas. These did not hold up at all. The underside looks a little bit better, but this is just not it for me. Maybe in the fall and the winter time, I might revisit it. I also didn't love the smell either, and I can still kind of smell it a little bit in my hair, which I don't love when smells linger. So it's just not a fit for my hair type. But if you love this gel, definitely let me know in the comments below. What was the biggest thing that you learned in this video, and what do you plan to tweak in your routine? Diffusing really doesn't have to be complicated or frustrating. It can be so much easier once you learn the right techniques and have a good hair dryer. I also just wanted to say that there's not a wrong way or a right way to do curly hair, but there are things that can make a difference depending on the results that you want. So I hope this was obvious to you as I'm explaining these things, that if you want similar results to what I'm going for, which is more volume, adjusting the shape of my hair, really bringing out my natural curl pattern, reducing frizz, then hopefully these tweaks help you out if you like to achieve that as well. If you're looking for more personalized help with your curls, and if you would like for me to watch you diffuse your curls to give you real-time feedback, that is something that is offered within my curl coaching membership. It's currently closed for enrollment, but it will be reopening in September. So if you want to be the first to find out when doors open for the next round of group coaching, then the link for the waitlist will be down below. I would love to see you there, and I would love to be able to watch you style and diffuse and even refresh, whatever you need help with. I would love to give you that feedback in your routine, because that's where we really find the things that can make a big difference in your curls. If you want to hear even more diffusing mistakes that specifically lead to a frizz, then check out the video that I did linked right here on the screen. It's all about my top diffusing mistakes that lead to frizz. So we cover a lot more things that I didn't even touch on here that I think will be really helpful if you're specifically struggling with a lot of frizz from diffusing. So I will talk to you over in that video. Bye everyone.